Sanding these little foam wings is just really easy. It takes nothing to it. I've just taken a sanding block and got some automotive sandpaper. This is a 60 grit. This one here is just a piece of plywood. I took some spray adhesive, sprayed the adhesive and sprayed the sandpaper. I've got 120 grit on the one side and I've got 80 grit on the other side. They're flat, long enough to do the wings. Really good pieces of equipment to work with these. Now you just saw me on the other video cut that foam wing. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the template that I've got to cut it with. You could actually sand with it on, protects the edge, but I don't do it. I just simply get it out of the way. Try real hard not to make too many mistakes with it. Once I've got it off, now I'm going to set it against the flat edge. I'm going to do a very small and gentle amount to take off that real sharp edge. You don't want to deal with the sharp edge. All you do is just make a mess with it anyway. You take a different grit. The big thing to remember when you're sanding foam, though, is if you go too hard, you're just going to chip it and bounce it off. The high density foam doesn't tear it quite as bad as the low density. You can work it a little bit. You ought to make a couple of them as examples first and try it and play it. Okay, you see I've got that relatively good. I'm going to take my softer side. I can take that right down. And I've sanded that quite well. You can see I'm about uniform thick when I get done here. We're going to cut that off eventually. And we want a light airplane here. I don't want to put balsa on there. We'll just make our hinges out of packing tape. So we're going to try to salvage that aileron when we get done. Now, you can be careful of the material that was left over when you were cutting it, but even if you've got it on there, just very gently rub your sandpaper across it. It takes it right out of the way. You do not want that stuff on when you start sanding for serious though, because it tends to gouge the material. Now I've also got the leading edge that I need to round because I had a little bit of an edge that was kind of sharp there. Using my finer grit, I just gently sand it. Try to match the existing rounded edge up on the front. Okay, you can see how that's working. A little bit sharp here still. If I need to be a little more aggressive, I'll take my heavy grit, but I want to do it very gently so it doesn't just start popping it out. Try to keep it flat, minimal amount of curling. You can see how I've turned that one out. That one looks a lot better. Sand it now with my fine sandpaper. And now that leading edge looks uniform all the way across. If I match it with my other wing, you can see that I'm relatively close. I'm still going to have to doctor these edges and cut that, and I'll do that with some sandpaper before when I put my dihedral on it. But you can notice now that they're just about the same size, but not quite. I can continue to work this edge back, and it's kind of critical that you get your wings about the same size. Now I can also move it down this way. Okay, now at that point I'm about the same distance here. If I cut off, just sand that back to the about the same distance. I can get a little rough with it here. It doesn't have it chipped out. I can have plenty of time to hand distance to thin it down. Now there we go. We're real smooth. However, we have created, it's a little thicker back there, but my aileron will be cut back out of here, and I can start sanding for serious now. Full length. You want to keep it as flat as you can. You can alternate between the really rough material and the fine material. The big trick is to just make sure that you remove all of your imperfections as best you can. Keep it flat. Keep good hold of it. That side's done. Take that side. Remove all of your material first. Keep it clean. You don't want any big garbagey piles on it because they leave divots in it. You don't want the divots. Now I'm going to cut off the end over here where it got a little too hot with my cutting iron. Because my wire was straight, I don't have too much restructuring to do. It's real important you don't have any kinks in that wire that really messes up your wings. And at that point, in less than 10 minutes, we now have a wing that's ready to cover with our paper, and we're done. Try it. Foam wings are easy to do. You can make a matched pair. They're relatively close enough that I'm going to let that one go because I've got to cut this one back a little bit. I've got to cut the tip off. We'll do that prior to coating it with our paper. Enjoy.